Welcome into the Paycast Network. Today, we are going to talk about Déja Vu, but not just about Déja Vu, about Déja Vu's history and how we got to where we are today with IPAspace. I have my trusty partner here, best beard in the business, James, with me today. James.
Hello, everyone.
And I also have probably the best person possible to talk about the history of Déja Vu and how we got to IPAspace, Venkat from Déja Vu, CTO of Déja Vu, the mastermind behind IPAspace. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good.
Of course. Thank you. So let's start way back whenever Déja Vu started. You tell me, and of course James will jump in as well because he's a devout follower of Déja Vu and everything that has anything to do with Déja Vu.
Yes.
But let's start way back when. You tell me, how did Déja Vu start, who was involved, and how did we get to where we are today with IPAspace?
Sure. Déja Vu has a much longer history than my stint with Déja Vu, I should confess. Déja Vu has been in business for last 20 years or so, founded by Moni Zenu, who was the distributor for Lipman back in those days, and Lipman got bought over by Verifone, and at that point Moni came out and he founded Déja Vu. Because at that point, he saw an opportunity for developing custom payment application on payment devices, because the smaller ISOs needed custom solutions, nimble solutions, companies that can react faster to their software needs.
So there was a need in the market for that type of...
Exactly,
Okay.
particularly with the smaller ISOs who would traditionally be ignored by the big vendors. That's where Moni saw an opportunity to serve the smaller and mid-sized ISOs by giving them custom solutions. That's how Déja Vu was born, and the famous the Z series.
That's James' favorite, the Z series still.
Actually,
Somebody note that.
Actually, my favorite goes a bit before that, because you mentioned Lipman just now. And so back then, these were the devices that they were dealing with back
This
in
was
the day.
excavated right down the street by an archaeologist, actually, from under the ground. We found this.
Yes, I mean our history goes back to these days, right?
Yep.
That's how we started. That's where our root is, which should tell you that we have far good grounding of how the industry has been turning around, what got the industry going, how the industry has been transforming, and we are taking advantage of things at every single step. 5 years back, I joined Moni with the vision that the days of standalone payment terminals are counted. In the sense that it's not that it'll go away.
Wait, you're saying this wasn't going to last forever?
Yes, the hardware would last.
Actually, I think I still have a plug. Afterwards we can plug it in.
Yeah, we might
It
as well.
will still work. But the amount of innovation the merchants would need requires a lot more to happen on these devices. It's difficult to innovate on the device front because of the inherent problem of upgrading the applications over the air. So my thought process back then was keep the terminal, keep it simple, stupid, and take advantage of the processing power on the cloud through a cloud gateway. And as you know, at that time, Android terminals were emerging, and I knew the form factors would change, the processing capabilities would change, the touch would come in. So there's a lot more usability, user interface enhancement that can come on a payment device. But what it can do in terms of software capability can be harnessed better if the logic is pushed to the cloud. That's when I came up with the concept of creating a cloud-based gateway even for a card-present terminal. Back then, the word gateway used to refer to a card-not-present gateway,
Right.
e-commerce.
Right.
And that idea reverberated well with Moni, and he asked me to come on board. 5 years back, I joined the company, and within 12 months, we created IPAspace, probably one of the first gateways that can connect a card-present terminal, a card-not-present, a virtual terminal, and an e-commerce all through the same channel. And while we were doing this, came Tap on Phone options, and we were the first one to launch Tap on Phone, and we added Tap on Phone as another channel to this.
Right.
So what we thought back then was an omni-channel gateway that actually materialized with more channels that
Right.
followed. But then there are more to that story. But I hope I have explained to you the history of
Yes.
the company, how the IPAspace came into being.
Definitely. And I think the thing that stuck out to me with that story, James, is I don't know of any other gateways that have as rich of a history from this to being, one of the more competitive gateways on the market today.
Yeah, and it's so true. There's so many gateway options out there, and it just feels like, they'll build up their book, if you will, and then they'll have great features, but in just a couple of years, they'll just up and sell, and it's anyone's guess what happens next. Whereas with Déja Vu, at least for the time that I've been working with them, for about 8 years myself now, they've definitely got some roots planted, and they definitely have that longevity that you don't get with so many of the other vendors and partners out there.
Right.
Thanks, James. I'm glad that you noticed it. But if you also noticed, we also don't compete with our customers. There are few gateways that were created by quote-unquote ISOs that are being sold to the other ISOs.
Right.
They should know that they are using a gateway that is created by another ISO.
Right.
And that means every merchant that they are onboarding is at risk because you are using a product that have full visibility of your data is with the other ISO. So we are a technology provider and we don't compete with our ISOs. So that's one thing that we do very clearly. And then because of our small ISOs supporting background, support has always been our USP. So last 10, 15 years, whoever has been working with Dejavoo, James, I'm sure you have experienced it.
Yep.
So we have a very effective support team.
Yep.
And people can call Moni directly if required. Right. We have a hierarchy of support teams. Basically, we are responsive to the customer need because we are in business only because of them,
right?
And we respect that.
It's got to be surreal for Moni and also for yourself to go from, like we said, making terminals like this or similar things in the 90s to now being one of, if not the most powerful gateway on the market. Do you ever kind of take a step back and look at where you came from to where you are now?
Yes, when I look back, it amazes me how far we have traveled. But then when I look forward, that's what interests me more because I have several miles to go. Because I thought omni-channel is the end of it. Then I realized that the type of method of payments is evolving. The new generation, they don't carry cards anymore. They use wallets like PayPal and Venmo. Now the crypto, people want to use crypto for buying cars and buying expensive watches. So then we added a new array of payment options to the gateway. Now it's not omni-device. It used to be omni-device on one side and omni-processors on the other side. Remember, we always had this concept of bring your own processors. Unlike some of them, they say, look, you like my device, you have to use my processor. No, we don't say that. We say bring your own processor. So on one side, I have several processors certified. On the other side, I have several hardware to choose from. So it's omni-channel and the omni-processor. Then all of a sudden came omni-payment acceptance method. So then emerged the terminology called omni-commerce. So now all of a sudden IPAspace is not omni-channel anymore.
Right.
It's an omni-commerce platform.
Right.
Now what we are evolving this gateway as a next gen is as an orchestration platform. Meaning certain transaction, why a particular merchant will deal with only one processor? Why should all their transactions should go to one processor? Why can't I allow an ISO to take advantage of, hey, debit cards, I get better rate with processor A. I will route those debit card transactions to that processor. Hey, this particular issuer bank card, I can route it directly to that processor to get better rates. Hey, my processor is down. My processor A is having some fluctuation. How can I dynamically route all the transaction to another processor? This is what is called as payment orchestration. Now, IPAspace is also evolving to become a payment orchestration. To answer your question, I don't have time to rest on my laurels. As they say, I cannot sleep every day saying that I have achieved. Now, there is a lot more to do, and we are continuously evolving.
So, James, from your perspective as somebody who deals with not only IPAspace every day, but have been dealing with a lot of different types of gateways for a long time, what sets them apart from others in the market?
For me specifically, that relationship, because we have such a tight-knit relationship with Déja Vu. I've got a couple of the reps over there on speed dial. I'm just going to do a quick shout out now for Ron over at Déja Vu. I've got him on my number 1 speed dial, and there are some weeks when I think I talk to him more than I talk to my wife. All good things, Ron, all good things. And Hannah, if you're watching this. But just having that kind of support, they really, I know it sounds cliche, but it almost feels like dealing with a family, right? They've got a great team over there, great people to work with. The products are solid. They have a unified vision, especially with IPAspace, the entire P series line, the gateway behind it, the mobile app with iPods Go or tap on phone. And to just have that unified platform, that close relationship, and also to just kind of see where they're wanting to carry this into the future, all of that combined brings about a really solid offering. And couple that with the fact that they've been in the industry for so long, they've seen the ups and downs, and that they're still here, still carrying the torch forward. There's a lot to be said for that.
Thank you.
Are those some of those points that James mentioned about the service and kind of that relationship piece? Would you say that's something that Déja Vu consciously thinks about and is makes an intention to do that? Or is that just kind of, you guys are great, so everybody wants to be your friend?
Well, it has to do with character. End of the day, you have to carry what is the DNA of an organization. It's the DNA of the people. So it starts with Moni, who just genuinely cares about people, who will never exploit anyone on any of those situations. So that it kind of percolates down from his level. So he has a genuine care of for the customers, and that kind of comes with the executive team and then to the team below. So that carries the services part of it. But then you have to look at the competitors of ours. So when you look at our competitors, they are the biggies. Now, if I have to compete, I have to create my USPs. And my USP is very simple. Stay grounded, be available, be innovative, and do the right things. And even if things are not done the right way, be honest about it. We have our own, shares of failure points. But we have always been honest and say, hey, look, I'm having this problem. I'll keep you posted. We don't hide things. And what the company is built for. So there are companies built for valuation games. So they can give you free this, free that. They can do many gimmicks. But their intention is to get a quick valuation and do an exit. And when you exit, your support level goes down.
Which is so common for this industry too.
Oh yeah,
exactly. So we may also look at exit, but that's not the primary goal for us. And one of our exit criteria is to choose the partner. Right now we are in a commanding state. We choose the investment partner. We choose the strategic partner and say, look, as long as you will continue this DNA, you'll continue this tradition, I'm willing to take your money. Otherwise, I don't need the money.
Right.
We are a profitable company.
Yeah.
Right? We don't do these shenanigans to get the quick valuation and run away. And the proof is on the pudding. We are in the business for so many years and still counting on good customers like James is the proof.
Yeah.
So as the mastermind behind IPAspace, kind of bringing Déja Vu into where it is now, at least in that piece, where do you go from here? What's next?
So like I told you, we want to evolve this platform into a payment orchestration platform. I see a lot of opportunity with data. I want to eventually get rid of all the gateway fees. I want the terminal to be paid by certain data sponsors. The terminal can all be a good advertisement spot. I call this as personal billboard. If I convert each one of those terminals as a personal billboard of the merchant of the ISO, this can be a good advertisement spot, and somebody else will pay for the devices and the gateway. So there's one initiative that is going on to evolve the terminal company into a data-led company. And then we are introducing unattended. We see a big growth on the unattended space. We want to take advantage of that. We have acquired some IP from Mexico. We will be launching in the next couple of weeks, actually, our first customer. But the Q1 of next year, you will see our big announcements on unattended.
Nice.
So this is our kind of shorter roadmap. The longer roadmap my founding principle is the following. One, help the agents to acquire the merchant in their first call. I should give features to the agents so that they go, talk to the merchant, demonstrate this, the merchant is sold on their first call. That's my first goal, because I started my life as an ISO in the payment industry. Two, for the ISOs themselves, the total cost of ownership has to be lower and lower. By bringing more and more remote diagnostics capabilities, by reducing the number of swaps that they do, they should be able to operate these devices at a much lower cost than they are doing today. And the third is about merchant retention. If we have seen an average life of a non-gateway powered terminal to the gateway powered terminal easily is 50% more.
Wow.
So I can easily help ISOs to retain more merchants, because now I'm hooking up the merchants for higher level stuff.
Right.
They can do voice enabled settlement of their batch.
Right.
They can settle their batch sitting at home. On their vacation, they can view the terminals, the sales, the store sales from wherever they are. So that's where we are taking this industry. The devices may or may not be there,
Right.
but the processing will be there.
Right.
And we will be there as long as there is processing. The cards may change into watch, the watch may change into ring, the ring may change into wallet.
Fingerprint next.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will be there.
But you'll be there. Awesome. Well, I know James is excited always about everything Deja Vu has going on. So he's also excited about the watch and rings you were talking about just now, but including anything else that you guys come out with.
Yep.
We're all very excited, and thank you for joining us today and giving us a little bit of a background of how Deja Vu got to where they are today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
My pleasure.
Thank you, James,
Chase,
as always.
thank you. Venkat, always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of the Paycast Network.